Hey guys, welcome. Welcome aboard if you're brand new. Welcome back if you are not, and welcome home if that sits perfectly well for you. What we are going to do right now is talk about the astrology and energy for the week of the 25th of March through the 31st of March 2024. So this week opens the Eclipse portal for 2024. On Monday morning, 2 a.m. Central Time, we have a full moon lunar eclipse at 5 degrees Libra. Very exciting. And in the evening, at 5:45 p.m., that Libra moon is going to quincunx Saturn. So this is about the need to balance self and other, right? It's the way that we choose relationship over achievements. It's really about redefining success. Absolutely. Redefining success through serenity and through peace and harmony, which is, that can be interesting sometimes. Though the energy might feel somewhat compressed and squeezy, stay focused. Your own expansion is going to allow you more latitude to manage more rather than less. So be a witness and then act accordingly, right? As it loads itself, which it will. On Tuesday, that Libra moon is going to quincunx Jupiter in Taurus and Venus in Pisces. The moon will oppose Chiron and Mercury in Aries, and then quincunx Uranus in Taurus and Neptune in Pisces. So tightrope style communications could be the norm. And what I mean by that is communications where really staying balanced and upright and in the moment is very critical. It might feel like someone is on the ground launching your baggage at you, okay? But mind yourself and mind the present. Come back to home. And of course, what I mean by that, as always, is what home looks like, smells like, tastes like, feels like, sounds like for you. Always come back to home and amplify that energy, right? 100%. On Wednesday, the 27th, the moon slides into Scorpio very early, overnight in the wee hours. And then that Scorpio moon is going to square Pluto, trine Mars, and quincunx the sun. So the intensity of these first 2 days of the week really increases. Just kind of keep in mind that it's really all about you and your identity, where you stand in relation to your current storyline, right? And your choice of actions. So witness it from as many angles as you are able, and make sure that you stay open to new information, open to any kind of adaptation. And the thing is, let yourself be surprised, right? Don't be so certain that you know what's coming. Don't be so presumptuous as to know that what has happened in the past is going to happen now. So just be in the moment. And remember that the universe is designed to surprise you, right? On Thursday, March 28th, right? This is the day that my baby girl made me a mama. So happy birthday to my sweet baby girl. That Scorpio moon is going to trine Saturn, and Venus in Pisces will sextile Uranus in Taurus. The Scorpio moon is going to oppose Jupiter and Uranus, quincunx Chiron, and trine Venus. So the impulses that you have today might bear a little bit more or deeper exploration, some extra contemplation, right? Your actions may set off a chain of events that where you reap isn't actually going to feel like a reward, but it definitely will be what you have sown. So the key here is to mind your P's and Q's. Home, that sense of home, right, is adaptive. So give yourself and your changes time to breathe, right? Don't expect instant transformation. Sometimes you need to allow it to flow in order to feel not quite so jarring. Yes. On Friday, the 29th, thank you, that Scorpio moon is going to quincunx Mercury, trine Neptune, and then the moon blazes her way into Sagittarius around 3 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time. That Sag moon is going to sextile Pluto. So Friday is a really psychic day. Like your spidey senses are off and running. So deep expression and very deep awareness might really have you feeling super floaty and honestly quite comfortable with that early in the day. After the moon moves into Sagittarius, again around 3 o'clock Central Time, that might shift into needing a more physical expression. Regardless of whether you choose to honor that need for physical expression, just make sure that you're staying in alignment and in intimacy, right? And what I mean by that is in that deep sense of connectedness, even if that's only with yourself, right? You are always also intimate with yourself as deeply as you allow. So just kind of maintain that. On Saturday the 30th, that Sag moon, oh, hold on there, thank you. That Sag moon is going to square Mars, trine the Sun, and square Saturn and quincunx Jupiter. So on Saturday, you might feel like waking up and getting at it, right? And the fact of the matter is what you experience, though, could be very vastly different from the way that you wish to feel it. Keep your sense of self, right, at the forefront and refuse to be drawn into anyone else's drama or rigidity. You are always choosing, so make sure that you exercise that power of choice, especially on Saturday. On Sunday the 31st, which is Easter for those who celebrate Easter, and I mean, whatever, if you choose a grand holiday like that, that is up to you. You get to choose it, you get to celebrate it no matter what. We have a Sag moon, and we're going to have that Sag moon trining Chiron and Mercury, quincunxing Uranus, and then squaring Venus and Neptune before the moon moves into Capricorn at the very end of the day. Here's the deal. Interpretation is going to be key. So remember that who you're speaking to is as critical as your message, right? Be clear and know that that clarity still isn't an insurance, is not an assurance of being correctly interpreted, especially if the hearer is intent on misunderstanding you. So again, your communication is only as clear as your connection is invested, right? So let go of your expectations when it comes to the way that you're going to be heard. You really can't do anything about that, depending on the human being that you're speaking with. And just know that if someone is intent on misinterpreting you, they're going to misinterpret you. And there's really nothing that you can do about that except control the way that you then react to that misinterpretation, right? All right, let's get at it. So on Monday, we have the World and the Knight of Wands. So the World is about completion. It's about achievement. We have this beautiful full moon lunar eclipse in Libra. And so here we are with ideas, the movement of ideas. So the way you're shifting your need to be in relationship over an achievement, right? Your concept of success as redefined through serenity and peace, right? What you accomplish is absolutely going to create this sense of movement. You get to leave behind what you wish to leave behind and move forward in those new concepts if that's what you choose to do, right? It's a full moon. It's in Libra. It's a lunar eclipse. This is the opening of the eclipse portal. So witness anything leaving that you need to be ushering out, because, right, when we have this solar eclipse, that's going to make a difference, right? Be there. Just be there. Yeah. Be willing to let things go, especially at that full moon. On Tuesday, we have the Three of Cups and Justice. Lovely, right? We talked about this as a tightrope day of communications, really staying in balance, making sure that you're managing your baggage and really minding yourself in the present, coming back to home, right? So no matter what comes at you, understand that you have the capacity to choose. And if you haven't done enough work to give you that capacity, you still have the awareness, maybe that, oh, I can't react in the way I want, so I'm just going to choose to manage myself right now, right? You get to do that. And I love the symmetry in these cards here. You know, this is the Three of Cups is always a card of shared celebration. It's a card of the way we honor ourselves for making correct decisions, for being in our emotional health, right? And so justice really also gives us the awareness that we do, in fact, get to choose what's in our realm. And if you don't have the power yet to choose what's in your realm, you do have the power to choose that you're going to make that choice, right? Does that make sense? Always coming back to the present, always coming back to home, always coming back to amplification of what you know to be your highest and best, you know. So you get to honor what you get to amplify each time. On Wednesday, the 27th, we have the Six of Wands and the Eight of Cups. So this is about victory and how we really witness what we're moving away from and what we're moving toward, right? And so we talked about this as a day where we're really asking ourselves about our identity, where we are in relation to our storyline, and choosing all of those angles that we wish to choose so that we can stay open to our highest and best adaptation, right? Let yourself be surprised. You might be shocked to learn where your victories are, even when you don't expect it, if you're willing to choose what you're walking away from. On Thursday, the 28th, we have the Empress and the Ace of Wands. What a lovely energy. We talked about this as how your impulses might have deeper consequences than you expect, right? So if you go off half-cocked, you may be surprised at the seeds that you're actually planting. Remembering that everything that you think isn't always the opportune time for something to come to manifestation. So especially on Thursday, please make sure that you're minding your P's and Q's and not conjuring a thing that you're going to need to banish. It might not be that simple. Even if it looks great, even if it feels great, mind your P's and Q's. On Friday the 29th, we have the Seven of Cups and the Five of Wands. So we talked about this as a day that feels really yummy and wonderful early, floaty, right? Seven of Cups is all about, you know, being in flow, having all those opportunities and choices at our fingertips, and then feeling a little bit more in our physical. Making sure that we stay in alignment is key, right? Making sure that you're definitely staying authentic. And not blocking yourself, right? You always have all these options unless you choose to block them out. So stay open, right? On Saturday, we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. So lovely, right? This is what you feel like getting at might not be what you get. Okay, so be patient when it comes to moving through life. Make sure that you are staying in your sense of self. You know what you've planted, right? You know what you've planted and what is coming to the forefront. So make sure that you're not drawn into anybody else's drama or their rigidity, right? You're always choosing. You always have the power to choose. So trust your process, not someone else's interjection, okay? You don't have to. You don't have to. On Sunday, you have the Two of Cups and the Hanged Man. This is really lovely. We talked, though, about this as being a day of interpretation, right? How your message could be super clear, right? And absolutely meant and offered in love with the best of intentions, literally as an act of divine union, right? Seeking to deepen that intimacy. And this is with yourself, with friends, with loved ones. It doesn't really matter. But you have to understand that perspective is everything. And no matter what, someone who is determined to not accept your message as an offering of love is always going to not accept that message as an offering of love. The thing for you is to shift your perspective to understand their why. Perhaps they don't have capacity. Perhaps their narrative requires them to hold a different space. And again, your communications are always as clear only as your connection is invested. So remember that what you're learning when this happens, those people who are intent on misunderstanding you, you're learning that they are invested in your being misunderstood. So make sure that you're letting go of an expectation, regardless of what risk is involved with that, right? Just be in your business. 7.5 billion ways, updated, of course, to 8 billion ways. But the deal is, this is about taking everything for what it is, right? This is you do you. This is no expectations. This is here we are, right? Just be here now, not pulling in anything else, and witnessing that everyone's show up is their show up. And there's no need for you to take it personally, because everyone is just doing their own level best. And honestly, it doesn't have anything to do with you, right? The challenging aspects and really tight energies of this week are putting everyone to the thumb screws, right? This is a lot of portal choosings, and that's what you get. So your oracle card this week is, and yet the path grows lighter. All right, let's see what this has to tell us here. I love this oracle. It's so sweet. The messages are so wonderful. Okay, number 3. And yet the path grows lighter. At this time, you have company, wise company, who shares with you that the lightness of life is worth bringing back, that the heaviness you have cast away has led you to find the most elusive treasures. About you, the world is awakening, and it will be as if you are the first to see its beauty. Drink it in as the hummingbird sips up the nectar. Develop a taste for this sweetness of life, and know that you've traveled far in this life and will travel farther still. You have the energy, the stamina, and the skill to do this. You will receive blessings along the untraveled road you now follow. Your path is sweet for now. Enjoy every drop of nectar along the way. So as we begin with the world, right, reminding you that you are moving along this path, and that perspective is everything, right? Between these two things lies myriad lessons. And so remembering that everyone is learning at exactly their pace, and whether or not that's your pace, whether or not that's your joy or your victory or your seeds, right? Your level of growth is always up to you. And no one gets to judge you except you. And even then, utilize your judgment of self as discernment, reminding yourself that you're just moving along the path, right? There's no need to censure yourself or tell yourself that you're doing it wrong. There's simply a need to keep moving, to keep choosing, right? and not allow anyone else's drama to interject itself in your own story. Anyway, yeah, happy full moon, guys. Again, lots of pivotal choosings this week, so make sure you're choosing wisely. Be blessed. Take care. Thanks for being here.